Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Fprl. This is Tier 4 Hungary Round 11 in sunny Budapest. It's me, Collateral Ads, as your main comms tonight with my friend Cosgrave.
Good evening, however.
Sorry about that, I was just putting the chat on. So it's a bit different this week after the patch we had. There's been a problem with the equal car settings, so we've had to chuck out the normal constructors and we're having to go with our F1 World cars, so there's going to be a mixture up on the grid. Hopefully everyone has gone by the colours similar to the team they are racing, so obviously it'll be easier for you guys and for us following them, but already we've got two lime yellow cars, so yeah. So what are you expecting from today, Cosgrave? Any surprises? Obviously going by the other tiers, it's been very entertaining, lot of spins and unpredictable results.
Yeah, well, for me personally, for Tier 3 on Wednesday, we had a late enough safety car where the guys could go on the sauce. And at that time, I was at P3 and just messed up that call. So if we get a late safety car tonight again, that could switch up the grid a bit. But I am hoping for, one of these guys sitting P6, P7 in the championship, try to push for a win tonight or get some good points to try to fight for the title.
So we're just following with Fox, who's the first one over the line, I believe. Just coming into turn 3 now. Best line here is to try and hug that curve as much as possible, gives you a straighter exit into turn 5. Coming up to a tricky turn 6 and 7. This one is a really, I think, is one of the most challenging corners out the whole calendar, just because it's obviously so fast and it's up camber and it just wants to push you to that right hand side.
Yeah, it's a completely blind corner. You don't see that apex till very late, so you do need quite good reactions to make sure you get that car turned in on time. It is, as you say, quite easy to get the car pushed out wide.
Just got Fox now coming into the last sector, so it's a purple first sector for him, as I believe it's the first one on the on his flying lap. Pretty stable lap so far, not any mistakes as I have seen. Taking the tighter line around that way is we do have a couple drivers take 169 there for Fox. So the last corner Crosby, obviously it is a very, very difficult corner also to get right. It's very, very low traction. There is a couple of ways you can obviously do it. You can be as wide as you possibly can and try and cut in, be kind of like mid corner and very, very tight to the corner just before the exit. What one would you personally think is best?
For quali, for me, there's two different lines. In quali, you'd want to run as tight as you can to that wall. But in the race, if you are following someone, take that wide line and just concentrate on the exit. You will have the DRS. And I found it is a pretty simple pass down into turn 1. If you do run that wide line, you will have the overspeed on the guy on the exit.
So first couple of laps coming in right now. Let's talk about the person in first place. We've been talking about him over the last couple of races that me and you have commentated on. He's on the up. He's got a lot of confidence at the minute in his driving. At the minute he's on provisional pole 116.6. How do you think he'll fare around here? Do you think he'll continue his confidence going into Hungary, going by the result we had last week and obviously in Austria?
Yeah, I think for Pitt, it's definitely everything on the up, especially after last week, claiming the sprint and the feature win. So I say he will be looking again, try to make that 2 from 2, but into Hungary. Hopefully, we get a few guys, maybe say fish sticks, he can try to give a push to him. It looks like Fox is one of the only ones at the minute with a set representative time that could fight for his pole.
So after last week, obviously the championship standings have got a lot closer, with some of the top people having really bad results over the last couple of races. Obviously we've had Scotsman had a really bad one in Austria, and he had a decent result in where did we race last week? Silverstone. Obviously Blunt Blade hasn't really shown his true speed over the last couple of races, but we have that 4th, 5th and 6th people now slowly catching up with P3. Do you think the pressure is now getting to these guys, where every race they come to they have got to be at their best, otherwise their chances of getting top 3 in the championship are just going to go out the window?
Yeah, definitely. I think at least for the top 2, they're going to start feeling the pressure. We have Petronas. He's 22 points behind Scotsman at the minute. So if he gets a good result tonight, and some things just don't go right for Blunt Blade or Scotsman, you know, we could have a new championship leader. But there is guys still like Vitt and Fox who are 4th and 5th. You know, if they either get a win tonight, you know, that's pushing them within one race to get that championship lead. So it is all wide open for the top 5, top 6.
Strategy rise round here, obviously racing myself this week, it is very high degradation circuit for some reason. These tyres are not lasting, so even some people are doing 2-stop around here. You see multiple strategies. You've got medium, hard, medium. We've even seen a couple of people going soft and medium and actually having it work. What do you think the majority of the grid will be picked today? Do you think you'll see some people starting a soft set of tyres from qualifying and just kind of like, yeah, well, we'll go for it. They'll get the jump on the people at the start, because it is very hard to pass it. You have only really 2 opportunities to pass at this circuit. So even if you on really rubbish soft tyres, as long as you get a good exit at the 2 corners coming onto the straight, it's going to be very hard for them people to pass.
Yeah, I would be expecting most guys probably to go the medium hard strategy, but we have seen throughout the week a few guys on the sauce, and even on Wednesday night we had one guy on the sauce push it out longer than what the guys on the mediums did. I think he actually ended up winning that race with that strategy, given the fresher tires under the safety car. So it's definitely going to be a toss-up, but for me it would have to be the mediums to hards, just to make sure you can make it to the end, because them softs after about 7 laps are just dead.
Yeah, that was my boy Leo. Managed to do the soft tyre run. He did very well. He managed to eke out 16 laps on them tyres, so it is possible. It's just dependent on how you treat these tyres, and again, it's dependent on what type of traction modes you have on. Obviously, full traction is going to produce a little bit more wheel spin, in my opinion, and tyre wear. But yeah, it's going to be nice to see different minds, different strategies throughout this race. So just going by the stands so far, so we've had most of the grid now on their first flying lap. Epic Frenchy at the minute, cross speed top 163, 2 temps in front, and obviously around here it's similar to Monaco. It's a very hard circuit to gain time, and we've seen across the week that there's such small margins between first to even last. It's these drivers have got to get that lap in.
Yeah, for me it's all about how well the guys can do through sector 2. If you can nail that, there's plenty of time to be found, and that looks like what Frenchy has done, as we actually just have Steele set at 116.2, so he goes the 10th clear to pole.
What corners do you reckon in Sector 2 do you think where people are going to lose it? My personal opinion, obviously would be turn 5 and 6, and obviously the chicane. But we've seen a lot of people struggling through the twisty part of the end of Sector 2, where you've just got to be consistent and careful on the throttle, and you've just got to take them right lines.
Yeah, it's definitely that turn 8 to turn 10, kind of, as I say, the twisty part. It is mainly about your line. If you can get that line right, you'll be just gaining so much time on the rest of the guys.
So, apart from Radical, everyone has done their laps. Obviously, Radical's having a bit of a down at the minute. Looks like he's invalidated both of his runs, so it's not really good start for his qualifying. But going by all that, anyone surprising you so far? You know, we've got Still up there, and Epic Frenchie. We haven't seen them qualify or be this confident in qualifying for a while now. And then you've got the big battle of Bluntbait and Scotsman side by side at the present moment.
Well, you would always want to see Bluntblade and Scotsman right beside each other, but it is the two guys, Frenchie and Steele. You know, they haven't had the best of luck lately for the past couple of races, so hopefully this is where they can turn it around. And it looks like they do have the pace to do that.
But back on track, do you think, another question, do you think a lot of people only use 2 sets through qualifying, so they will save a set of soft tyres for that race? Just for the sheer fact that, because of how high the tyre deck is, if it's a late safety car, anyone on the soft tyre is going to be 2 to 3 seconds quicker compared to someone who's on 10, 12 lap old mediums or hards.
Yeah, I think you could see, I'd say maybe half the grid could go through all the tyres and the other half will save that extra set of sauce for that chance of the late safety car. As you say, if they do have that late safety car and you're on the fresh sauce, it's just a massive tyre advantage you're going to have even on new against new mediums. You should be just picking your way through that field as if it was nothing.
So we have the Mr. The Flow, 26 on his lap, and he's gone wrong somewhere because he's 4.5 seconds down. So it looked like he had a problem somewhere going up to turn 4, 5 and 6. We've got a couple of drivers look like they're going to be on their last flying laps. You've got Magic Cram, you've got Skull Kid just about to start, and our newcomer, Rosie, or Rosier, who's a fellow partner of Jake, who comes to Tier 2. So she's come from another league. Doing very well at the minute, P15. Lovely banker lap of 183. Take us round with Rosie's lap, Crosscrete.
Yeah, so we just came through the chicane in the middle of the second sector. And this is where we're talking about Luke gaining the time through turns 8, 9, 10. Not too bad through turn 9, just a slight bit tighter on the apex than you would have liked. Up to turn 11, just clips the outside curve, which is unsettled the car. Which has to have catch that rear end. Down into turn 12, it is one you can outbrake to, but she has seemed to do that well. 13 is one car always wants to push out. Up into 14, this is where you can make or break your lap. Taking that middle line that we were saying about earlier, just getting onto the power and across the line, it's a 1:19.2.
Yeah, so not a very good last lap for Rosie. She has enough time to go for another banker. Got Skull Kid crossing the line. He didn't. He improved by 2 tenths, so he's only a couple of tenths off of Magic Graham. So a lot of improvement in there for Skull Kid. We've got Marco. He's had a bit of a down. He's 9.6 seconds off. And going with the championship leader coming into the. Yeah, so coming up to turn 5 and 6 now. Let's see how Scotsman takes. Does he lift off slightly? Yep, no brake, just a little bit of a lift off. Hugging that curve on the right hand side. What you want to do is try and get close to that curve. That's the fastest way around. Lovely chicane there. To be honest, it is a very, very difficult corner. I struggled a lot through my qualifying lap with that chicane. Just got to get it right, especially it's so low traction. But Scotsman looked like he had it on ball there. He's slightly down on his time too, so he's nearly a tenth. So let's see if Scotsman can improve in these last couple of corners. There's a lot of time that can be gained through here, just for the sheer fact that traction is low. But no, he's decided he's backing out, so he will go for another flyer. But is he going to have enough battery to do one more flyer?
For me, definitely not. If I was Scotsman, I would have probably just binned off this lap. just try not to take anything out of the tyres and just recover your battery, which looks like he doesn't want to do. So can't see really much of an improvement without the battery. This Frenchie sets a 1:16 dead, which is actually very quick.
1:16 dead, very, very quick lap there by Frenchie. So he is loving Hungary at this present moment, and that is probably his qualifying over. So that is a lovely start of his weekend. Still just coming round to the end of turn sector 2. He's slightly down, about half a temp. Let's see what he's like. He's 2 temps up, so at the minute he's going to be smack bang on Epic Frenchie's time. Can still take provisional pole position from Epic Frenchie. He's got to get these corners right. Let's have a look at the way he takes this last corner. He's going to go on the wider line. He's gone mid corner and then hug in the corner to the left hand side. Full throttle straight to the front of the grid, and it is 15.9. So the first bloke into the 15.9. 3 temps up. What a lap by Steele.
Yeah, it's an absolute great lap. To be honest, I wasn't expecting any of these guys to get into the 15s. But seeing that and seeing Frenchie at 1:16 dead, I think maybe Frenchie could try to go for another lap, but it is going to be the same as Scotsman with very little battery.
Got Fox just come over to P5. We've got Vit up on his lap. Let's see what he looks like through sector 2. He's on a very good one. He's nearly 4 temps up. So this will put him up into P3 at the moment, and Bluntblade's decided to retire. Let's see if that is a good, wise choice by him. But Vit's coming around to the last corner now. If he's going to be about half a second up, it's going to put him close to P2. Coming across the line now, and it is a P3 by Vit. Misses out on P2 by just over a tenth. Vit's down. We've got Fish Sticks up 3 temps. So crossgrid, this is going to put him up there. In a minute, it's going to put him above Scotsman. So let's have a look to see if he's going to have a good last corner. Here again, look at that different driving line coming into that last corner. Coming across the line, P4 for Fish Sticks. So what a qualifying lap was that for him.
Yeah, that's an absolutely great lap for him to be over the moon with that one.
Patu Stars on the fly. He's a second up. This is going to put him right up there. P3. What a lovely final lap that was. That was 1.5 seconds quicker than his first set of laps he done. So that's put him up into P3. That's dropped Vit and Fish Sticks down to P5.
The Flow, he'll be next round. He's about a tenth and a half up through the second sector. So we could try to jump Mongo here. Maybe even Fox. He sets 1:16.5.
Yeah,
he actually goes up to P6.
So the championship lead and P2 in the championship are going down and down and down. And we've got Mongo just up half a temp. We've got Radical. He's made a mistake somewhere because he was up on his time by 3 temps. So it's a shame by him. But we've got Mongo is our next gentleman across the line. Is he going to lock Bloodblade and Scotsman further down the grid? It is a 1:16, and yes, he goes P5, so Bloodblade P8, Scotsman P9. We've got Patronus even up a temp. So if he can find 3 more temps through these last couple of corners. Marco is backed out, he's run out of fuel. So the last gentleman across the line is going to be Patronus. Where can this put him? Is this going to be enough to put him into the top 10? No, so P12 for Patronus. So, guys, that is, I think, our grid. Oh, we've got Steele coming on the line. He's going even faster. Oh, he just missed out by 17,000 per second. He lost a bit of time there in sector 2. Sector 3, sorry. So, cross grid. That is a really, really shake-up grid, that one, isn't it?
Yeah, that was a great last couple of minutes there. It seemed just like the track evolution just ramped up, especially through the third sector. It seemed like a lot of guys were probably getting a lot of time through the last 2 corners. But you say, yeah, it's shaking up grid, especially with their top 2 in the championship down in P8 and P9. So they're going to have to do a lot of battling on a track that it is hard to overtake on. But we could see, you know, big change in the championship order after tonight. Yeah,
it's not a particularly good place where Scotsman and Bluntblade are putting themselves. P9, P8, near enough mid-pack. Turn 1 at Hungary is not a very pleasant corner to be battling in, just because of the sheer fact it is a wide corner, but just the way the corner goes. You know, if you stick on the inside line, you're going to lose too much. If you're on the outside line, you can cut in front of the person in front. So, you know, are they going to bide their time, or are they just going to go for it? So that is our grid, people. And again, of course, look how close the grid is between P10, P1, separated by 6/10 of a second.
Yeah, this is exactly what we want from these guys. So it is, this just shows how good this league is. We have basically half a second separating the top 10. It just shows anybody can get pole in this tier.
Just having a look to see how many tyres. So still Epic, Frenchie and Tattoo and McVitie all saved a set of soft tyres. P5 and P6 used all their fresh sets. So it was a mixture there that people decided to save a set and use a set. Oh, no. Sunny Budapest is now gone and we are in rainy conditions. This is what we was dreading cross grid before coming on. You said this could be a very, very S show of a race. And this has made things worse.
Yeah, this is just going to cause a lot of problems.
Especially with the people on no traction. No traction in the wet this year is very, very difficult. You have to feather that throttle very, very easily. You know, but what does rain give you? It gives you excitement. It gives you unpredictable results. So this is what we need, and this is what obviously the viewers want to see. Hopefully we'll see a driver on the top 3 of the results today that we don't normally see. So fingers crossed that everyone is going to take it easy due to the weather. But yeah, going by what we're looking at, full wets or intermediates? Because for me, the way the rain's coming down, that's full wets.
Yeah, just look at lane there. It does look pretty greasy. But it does just show up. We'll have a few guys save this. We do have a few guys that save the softs. So it does tell us that maybe it's going to dry up towards the end of the race. And if it does, them guys with the fresh softs really are going to get the big advantage out of that.
So going by the quality results, we did see a couple of people down on their times and in positions that we wouldn't expect them to be. Do you actually think that people have gone for rain setups?
I would say a lot of guys would have just seen that rain and definitely put on a wet setup. You can get away with it at some tracks, but definitely around Hungary, it's so beneficial to have that wet setup. It's I wouldn't say it's such a high downforce track, but you really do need them wings in around the first and second sector.
Yeah, you do in the rain. So if anyone didn't actually look at their weather forecast and you're on your dry setup, just be careful and good luck. Yeah. Oh, I'm quite excited for this race. Hopefully TIER4 gives us a nice, good showing. The last couple of races have been exciting, and it's nice to see that we've got Frenchie still and Tattoo Star up there. Yeah, just talk us just a little bit about. I don't know, what was I going to say? I've totally forgot now.
What I was thinking is the pressure going to get to Frenchie? We seen last week he couldn't put it on the grid correctly. There was a bit of back and forth. So will the pressure being on P1? Sorry, P2. Will that force him to park it upright after the shenanigans of last week?
Yes, certainly. He went backwards, unfortunately, but I think he tried the long first stint, short first stint, long second stint, and it just didn't work out for him in the end. So fingers crossed he has a good result here, and not to go too hard into turn 1, because there's plenty of opportunities in this race due to the rain that you're gonna one of these drivers is going to make a mistake, and you've got to jump at the opportunity when it comes to you.
Vincent in chat, he's messed up a 15.5.
Oh,
so he could have got
not good.
Plenty quicker. That is not what you want to see.
15.5.
I would have put him on pole by 4/10.
and I probably would have kept that to myself also. So while we wait for the other the race to start, next week Spa, very difficult track. Obviously, very low downforce. I don't think it's a high grip circuit either. I think it's quite a low traction track. Normally rains there. Excited to see people race there next week.
Yeah, definitely. Personally, for me, I would like to see a bit of rain in my tier. Feel like in a rain round Spa, I am quite quick. So that's my personal feeling about it, but I know that it can throw up a bit of mishaps with other guys, especially through the second sector, going by Puon and that.
So halfway through the season now, have you got a name that you want to put on that top spot? Or do you think it's literally going to go down to the wire, the last couple races, going by the results that the top three have been having recently, and the 4th, 5th and 6th people are having really good results?
Personally, I would like to see Scotsman take this championship, but the way, as you say, things have been going for him lately, he needs to start bringing the results back the way they used to be, and hopefully he could do it tonight. But it is good to see that, as you say, 4th, 5th, 6th in the championship. Put the pressure on these top three, make sure they can't run away with anything.
Go to Scotsman. I know we watched him in Austria, he had a good qualifying. Every time I've watched him race, he seems to do a lot better when he's coming from the back or mid-pack than he is starting at the front. Do you just think that's down to pure pressure, or just if he's had a really good, really rubbish qualifying, it's down to anger and it makes him, you know, have a better result?
I don't think anybody would want an angry Scotsman behind them. So I think they kind of just get out of the way for him, knowing what could happen. No, but in all seriousness, it does seem to be the way for him at the minute. You know, apart from, I think it was Imola, where he did drive away from everybody. He has really had to battle for this championship. And we do hope to see that all the way through the second part of this season.
So we got the prediction wrong. It does look like everyone is started on intermediates. Let's have a look. Yes, they are. So it's intermediate conditions, and it does look, I've been talking, the sky's got a little bit lighter, so hopefully this whole race is not under rain conditions, because when it does go to wet to dry, it brings unpredictable results.
Yeah, as we actually have still on the formation lap, just throw this back end out. So that's one way to heat up your rear tyres.
So, Koski, if you can, for the viewers, go through the bottom 8 for us, please.
Yeah, so P18 is Rainbow, P17 is Rosie, P16 is Skull Kid, and P15 is Magic Ram, P14 is Marco, P13 is Willy Bum, Patronus is P12, P11 is Radical.
I think we just had a spinner too just then. That car at the bottom has had a spin at the treacherous turn 6 and 7. So not good start for whoever that is. I can't actually find out who it is. So P10 Fprl Fox, P9 is Scotsman, P8 is Blunt Blade, P7 is Flo, and it is Flo who spun round. Yeah, so not very good formation that for him, but at least he knows where the traction is not. P6 is Fishsticks, very good qualifier hit for him. It's nice to see him up into high up into the start of the grid, so hopefully he has a good result. He is due one, so hopefully good luck is on his side today. P5 is Mongo, P4 is Vit, P3 is Tattoo Star, P2 is Epic Friendship with a brilliant qualifier for him, and P11, we don't normally say, is still in P1. So just remember guys, turn 1, rainy conditions, be careful. Don't particularly want to see a safety car on the first corner either, and we've got Marco who's disqualified, so Magic Ram and Skull Kid, be careful, he's going to be slow off the grid. And Radical. So, where are the lights? P1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we are away for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Give us a bit of action, so really, really good start by Steele. We've got Epic Frenchie alongside him. Total bit of battling for P3 going into turn 1. Fishsticks has made a really good start. He's jumped up 8th place. We've got Fit and Fishsticks just touching tyres there. That's not what you want. And we've got a spin out. It's Blumblade. Blumblade's out. Oh no, P2 in the championship. And we've got Scotsman. He's hit Willy Bum also. 5-second penalty for Scotsman. Not a very good start to the Tier 4 race.
Yeah, we also have the Flow. He seemed to spin it out the exit of turn 1. I don't know if that was to try to take avoiding action from what happened in front, or if that was just on his own. But yeah, that's quite a crazy start. We've only had a few time penalties dished out. So it's definitely not what you want to see. Thankfully, it's only a virtual safety car, so we should get back onto racing pretty quickly here.
Not very good start for our P2 championship leader. Not too sure what happened there, but it may have been knocked out. But the man on the move, Cross Street, is Skulking. He is up 6 positions, I believe. So he's had a brilliant start. He's actually into the top 10 positions, point scoring positions at the present moment.
Yeah, it seems like he's taken full advantage of what's happened at that start. And he's just fought his way through the traffic. Has gained up to 6th position, as you have said.
But let's just have a look at the position changes. So yeah, Skulking up 6. We have Magic Graham up 7. So between 10th and 5th, they've all had a reasonably good start. And the virtual safety car is now over. And it looked like Frenchie had a very, very good restart there. He's on the back of Steele, about half a second behind. Tattoo Star, a little bit of a wobble coming out in that last corner. Not a very good start by Fishsticks. Fishsticks has got Fox all over his rear end. He's already 1.3 behind. Is Fox going to take a lunge? No, he's not. Troners, Magic Graham, and we got a move for P2 here. We got Epic Frenchie and Tattoo Star battling, but Epic Frenchie keeps on with his P2. And Scotsman's in the pits, taking his 5-second penalty. New front wing and a new set of tyres. So P1 in the championship, he is not doing so good either. So this is playing in Patronus' hands at the present moment.
Yeah, he'll be definitely looking to try to get through this pack and try to claim as much points as he can. He definitely won't be looking for a safety car anytime soon. The big slide from Steele coming out of the chicane, well caught though.
Yeah, tentative on that throttle. He knows that it's going to be a very, very long race. It's the last thing he wants to do is spin. And especially these curbs are quite high around this circuit. So I'll see a lot of drivers try and avoid all these curbs. So we've got Fox right on the back of Fishsticks. And Fishsticks, after his poor getaway after the virtual safety guy, has got a bit up on Vit and Fitz dropped off the back of Tattoo Style a little bit. We've got Marco has passed Skull Kid now, so Skull Kid's down to P12, so in the space of a lap he's lost 2 positions. Just up in front, still takes a fast lap, but he's got Epic Frenchie still right on his tail, only 4 attempts behind, so still is not running away with this too much Cross Street.
No, Epic Frenchie's definitely keeping him under wraps at the minute, it looks like. It might be just worthwhile just sticking behind, just settle down into this race. You know, it's 35 laps. Obviously, we've got about 33 now. Just settle down, see what Steele's pace is like, and maybe conserve some tyres.
Yeah, we got our debutant down in P14, Rosie, in the Red Bull livery car. Just battling there with Radical. Radical got her in on the inside of turn 3. And now we have the Flow, who's just gone off. That'll be a track limit violation for him. But yeah, she's sticking to her own in a minute. She's doing very well, P14. Oh, we have a spinner. What's happened? What happened there? We had... I think Steele and Frenchie have come together Cross Street. They're down in P3 and 4. We've got Vit and Tattoo Star past both of them.
Yeah, it must have been some contact just out of the chicane. It just looked like where the yellows were. I'm not going to say anything because I didn't see it, but yeah, that's definitely not what them two guys at the front wanted. You know, they had a 2-second advantage over the Tattoo in third.
Yeah,
they're going to have to gain that back.
And with that contact, that has closed up the whole 7th to 1st place. So they're all in line with each other at the present moment. So very, that is played into Vit's hand, who's actually gone up 2 places. So he's into P2 now. Whereas Patronus are P3 in the championship. He's settling in. He's P7. Just 5 tenths behind Fox. He actually had a really good exit there. But again, it's going to be, in these conditions, it's going to be very difficult. Oh, and he just nudges Fox there offline. It's going to send Fox a little bit wide, but I think Patronus lifted off there to let him have the place back. But yeah, Crossgate, in these conditions, it's going to be very hard for anyone to pass. Due to the fact that it is equal performance, and obviously it's down just to pure driving the skill now with no DRS activation till it dries up. So yeah, everyone's going to be in a bit of a DRS train here.
Yeah, it's going to be a DRS game like DRS. It looks like just everybody's keeping to each other's pace in these conditions.
We've got Steele on the back of Vit. Vit's not looking too comfortable at the moment. He's got a lot of pressure behind, but obviously Tattoo starts in P1. Not pulling away as much as he probably would have liked to, but we have Fish Sticks dropped off a little bit from the back of Frenchie, so it's going to relieve some pressure from Frenchie. Got a move there by Willy Bum and Magic Graham. Side by side going into the last corner. Make sure you give each other some room, lads. A little bit of wheel banging, a little bit more wheel banging, another little bit. So Willy Bum forces his way through up into PA. Magic Graham is not going to be happy with that defence move by Willy Bum, and Magic Graham goes for a dive on the inside. Again, they touch wheels. These lads just need to keep it calm in these conditions, Cosgrave.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be, especially down to turn 1 with the downhill braking has been yellow out of turn 1 itself, which is Rainbow on the outside. So I don't know if he's hit the wall or not. He has, yep, he's lost all of his front wing. That's definitely not what he's going to want.
I think into turn 1 he's rear-ended Rosie. It come up that he's got a 5-second penalty for hitting Rosie. That's the only thing I can think, that he's rear-ended her. She didn't lose much time, but he's obviously lost a lot. So, yeah, not a very good start by Rainbow there. Scotsman obviously at the back had damage in the first lap, fresh intermediate tyres. But again, anything can happen, and this can also play into his hands further later on in the race due to safety cars, or if it dries up.
Yeah, we don't know with these guys. You know, Rainbow now, he could be on a strategy when he gets a new set of enters on. It might be just perfect if it does dry up. You just never know at this moment in time.
So just talking about our P6 man at the minute, Epic Frenchie had a brilliant qualifying about in a minute. He's going backwards. He was first. We believe he had a contact collision with Steele, but we've just had Fox and Fish Sticks both pass him, and he is dropping from Fox. So not a very good start in these first 6 laps for him.
No, it's definitely not what he wants. And if there was a bit of contact, as I'll say, it have knocked his confidence a bit. Maybe just going to try to go a bit easier on the car.
Scott's with a fast lap just popped up. He would do that as he is on fresh tyres. Got Muvit still keeping Tattoo Star busy up at front. Just over half a second in these conditions. And then you've got still a further 5 tenths, 6 tenths behind him. And then a good old 2-second gap to Fish Sticks. Anyone in that top 10 is surprised you so far. Obviously we've had Mongo. He's had a very good start up at P10. He's battling with Magic Graham still, so these two still haven't left each other alone.
For me, it would have to be Fox. You know, he's gained 5 positions. So from P10 to P5, it's actually had Magic Graham down the inside. He's touched.
A bit of a late lunge there by Magic Graham. No, just need to settle down and just be careful, because you both are losing a significant amount of time to the P8 bloke, and at the minute from P8 to first it's not separated by much, so just, you know, use your brains. But Magic Graham has got a lovely transfer for the last one, and Willie Mongo is moving about to try and break that to the extreme. Magic Graham's going for the dive on the inside. Izzy makes it sit. The fast line is around the outside, but we have Mongo off the circuit. He's outbroken himself a little bit, and that's Magic Graham up into P9.
Yeah, after all that wheel bang, it did look like a good enough move from Magic Graham to finally jump Mongo, so he'll probably be hoping to try to...
I don't know what happened there. Skull Kid hit the flow, then went through him like a ghost. So yep, Skull Kid dropped 4 places from P10. Not so well for him so far. Just keep your head down, and you never know, anything can happen.
Same as last week, mate. Nigel's wanting tyres.
Yeah.
Even though we're all going to say what they're on.
So, just talking, we were talking about Frenchie a minute ago, 1.7 seconds behind. Now he's caught himself up. Still in P6, but he's only about 5 tenths off of Fox. So he's gaining confidence again. I wonder if the track is drying up. Obviously, we can't see it from our point of view if it is dried up, but it does look like you're getting a bit of a line there, Crossbury.
Yeah, it does look like there is a slight drying line starting to develop. So maybe in the next 10 laps or so, we could see guys hopefully going onto the slick tyres. If that is the case, it should be hard to do the end from there.
We have still near enough pushing Vit around the first corner. So Vit has made his way up into P1. So the gentleman who we've been speaking about the last couple of weeks having an absolute blinder is now into P1.
Yeah, but Steele isn't going to let him get away that quickly. He's straight on the back of him again through the second sector.
Only 3 tenths behind. The visibility is not going to be great either, so the break point is going to be very hard to judge, especially coming up to this chicane corner. I do want to know what actually happened between Frenchie and Steele, so if anyone could let us know if they were watching or engineering something, just please let us do in the chat. It'd be nice to know. Other than the top 6 and obviously Willie Bum behind Patronus, it's pretty much spread out. So Patronus, this is all in Patronus's hands to try and gain as much points as he can on Bluntblade and Scotsman, and he's looks like he's really struggling on his tyres.
Yeah, he is
dropped 5 seconds behind now.
Yeah, the car does look a bit slidey for him. Just seeing Willie Bum try to put one down the inside. So Willie set Patronus up out the exit of 14.
I wonder if he's got a dry setup on, and that's why he's struggling compared to other people. So at the minute, he does look like one of the worst drives on the grid for pace-wise at the present moment. And we've had a move for P4. We have Tattoo Star gone down to P5. We had Fox pass him down the main straight, so he's on the move. And we've got Fish Sticks up into P3 cross crease. Somehow he's got himself up to P3. Very good start by him. He's loving these conditions and this track.
Yeah, it looks like this is the kind of track for him, as Steele the massive slide out of the blind left-hander, so it will give him a bit of room. There's another slide from Steele, so he's definitely not going to enjoy these conditions if he is going to eat away at the rear tires, as Mongo gets a 3-second time penalty.
So yeah, that's not good for Mongo. 9 laps in, so for the rest of the Grand Prix, he's not going to be able to push them curbs and them tyres not as much, because it is a very high track limit circuit. Yeah, pretty clean so far. I've liked the racing we've seen. Obviously turn 1 there was a big incident, not too sure, obviously again we missed that due to the camera angles, where our championship P2 gentleman is Bluntblade. He retired, so it's a mystery on how he retired, and that was coming out of turn 1. And obviously Scotsman had a collision with I think it was Willie Bum, so that dropped him down to P15. So are you impressed so far with the level of racing we've seen so far, especially in these conditions?
Yeah, it's been good enough, I think, with these conditions, bar the lap 1 incidents. I know there's been a wee bit of wheel banging but that can be expected with these conditions. The car will try to push itself out.
You have Willy Bum and Patronus now fighting each other, and all this is doing is building a bigger gap for Epic Frenchie. And they're side by side. Willy Bum slides to the left and pushes Patronus slightly off track. He's not going to be happy with that move, but our P3 gentleman in the standing is going backwards at the minute, so he's not liking these conditions at all. So let's see what Willy Bum can do in P7 now, see if we can close that gap on Epic Frenchie.
Yeah, this is definitely not what Patronus wants. Knowing that his two championship rivals are outside of the points, he would have been looking to try to cut through this field as quick as he can, but he just doesn't seem to have the pace. As there's a big slide in the middle of sector 2 from Patronus, and already Willy Bum, he's 1.5 seconds up the road.
Yeah, we just had Magic Cram and Skull Kid both receiving their first set of 3-second penalties. Again, then drivers are going to have to take it nice and easy. But as I was speaking, Crosby, the rain has stopped.
Yeah, so now it's just, can these guys push out these intermediates as far as they can until we get that dry line fully developed?
So who is going to be the first one to jump? What tyres are we going to see people on? Are they going to risk doing a medium, probably around a 17 lap mark? You can possibly do it, but your tyres will be jank at the end. So let's see what these top 6 drivers are going to do. And of course, with these F1 World cars, unless they already know, they don't know who their teammate is in the box either. So it's going to be difficult for these. You may even see some of these drivers lose a lot of position due to the fact that they're going to have to line up and wait for their teammate to finish their pit stops.
Yeah, it's definitely going to throw something into the works. You know, these guys aren't going to know, as you say, who is their teammate. You know, we'll see, I'd say, in the next about 4 laps or so. It looks like that line is drying out pretty quickly.
Yep, and there's no spray either, so I would assume you'll probably see some drivers maybe go into the pits this lap. I can't see any spray at all. Or are they going to eke this out? No, we have McVitt in P1. He is pitted. We have Steele. The Fish Sticks is staying out. Fox is staying out. Tattoo Star and Frenchie. So the top 2 gentlemen have pitted. So let's have a look.
And they did it at the perfect time.
So let's have a look at what they're going on. So we have Steele's going on mediums, and we have McVitt also going on mediums. Whoa, that was close. And Vitt, has he lost out?
Just about got back in front of Steve.
We've got Mongo. Everyone is in the pits. We have Scotsman still staying out. So let's see how these guys are going to be on these tyres. Is it still too wet? Is it still too damp? Because of the crossover point, the intermediates might be exactly the same as the tyres, because the dry tyres, because it does take a couple laps for the dry tyres to start working after such a big, such a downpour. So it's going to take 3 or 4 laps for them soft tyres to get up to heat. So let's just have a look at Vitt's time compared to Marco. And at the minute, Vitt going through sector 2 is catching Marco. So it is time for the softer tyres.
It is definitely going to be one to look out for. This is exactly what Patronus needed. He's timed his pit stop perfectly. Now it's all about trying to get through these inter runners as quick as he can. Yep. So we could see a massive jump for him.
We've got everyone in the pits now in the top 4. Everyone's just got to slow it down to make sure they... Yep. So let's see if any of these are actually their own teammates. Lucky enough, they are not. So, Magic Gram's got a 5-second penalty. Marco's got a 5-second penalty. Oh, we have Willy Bum behind getting stuck from his teammate. Scotsman's in. Patronus is coming around P11, so he looks like he's going to jump a few people. He's up into P10. Skull Kid's in. Rosie is staying out on intermediates.
Interesting, I would say. Maybe hoping for a safety car or something, maybe. But yeah,
Well, it's either that or there's a tiniest section of dry before it goes rain again, which is possible. So let's just see. It's a weird one. She's the only one I think on intermediates. Yep, she is. So we have Scotsman's on the soft tyre, so he'll be definitely doing another pit stop. And I've just seen we've got Fish Sticks on hard tyres, so he is looking. And we got a spinner at the back, and it is Rainbow. No, it's not. It's just Rainbow getting out of the way, bless him. But yeah, we got Fish Stick. He's on the hard tyres, so it looks like he wants to just go straight to the end where the other people will be suffering at the end. So this could play into Fishy's hand.
yeah, it all depends on the top two guys.
Can
Just
you?
shows that
Sorry, Koski. Can you pause it? Apparently, on Mike's correctly.
any better?
Someone let us know if the mic is sorted itself out. Yeah, it's all better. So Radical picks up a 3-second penalty. So yeah, so what we were saying was that Fish Sticks has obviously gone for the long game. He's gone on the hard tyres, but everyone else around him's going to medium. Do you think this is going to play into Fishy's favour towards the end, as these other drivers have got to do 18 laps, and going by experience from this week, that ain't going to happen?
I think these guys are trying to push as hard as they can on these mediums and take softs to the end and around about, say, lap 26, 27. So it's all about Fish Sticks keep up the pace while preserving his tyres. But it was interesting to see just the fact of McVitt and Steele just pitting on the right lap and gained 9 seconds on the rest of the field. That just showed the massive tyre difference that there was between the mediums and the inters at that one lap.
So I just read online that Steele's teammate was Fish Sticks, and that is why Fish Sticks had to go round it again on them intermediates. He just didn't want to get held up. So I've got engineers begging me for people's tyres. Should I give him the tyres or should I not, Koski? I'll leave that one up to you.
I mean, it's certainly David. I think, you know, he can go another lap without looking at them.
You should be on holiday anyway, David. You should be not watching this. You should be out having a drink, bringing in them birds. So yeah, Patronus is made his way up to P7. He looks more comfortable now in these dry conditions. Again, this is still in his hands to gain some points on Blunt Blade, which is his main competitor at the present moment. And David's had a long day, so bless him, he wants to sit here and watch Fprl, which is fair enough, but I'll give him the tyres as I don't want to annoy him. So there's your tyres, lads. No different, only 2 drivers on this grid, Scotsman and Fish Sticks, who are on hard and Scotsman's on soft. What are we going to all at? What are we watching?
Frenchie just down the inside, turn 12, just a bit of contact with Fish Sticks. Look, Frenchie might have lost the car, but he has saved it. Now with the DRS active, can Frenchie get them moved down into turn 1?
Yeah, let's see what the setups are like. Has Fish got enough straight line speed? He's saving quite a few bits of his battery. He's got 62%, whereas Frenchie's only got 29. But again, these tyres that Fish is on, they will come into play probably in around 5-6 laps. So he's just got to be, bide his time, don't be too angry at the wheel. Yeah, it will come to him. All these other drivers, I would expect they will have to pit. As long as Fish looks after his tyres, he can go to the end. So we've still got Vitt and still up front, Crossgree, but massive. Somehow they've got a massive 9-second gap to P3.
Yeah, that was all just down to the pit stops when they made it at the right time.
And we've got Skull Kid and Mongo here fighting over P14 and 15. Not a very, very good day for Mongo. He was in P10 at some point, but he has been passed by Scotsman. who had that accident again, and he is on the back of Marco. So with the penalties racking up, let's have a look at what people have. We've got Epic Frenchy posting the fastest lap. So Magic Graham's on 14 seconds, so he's not far off of having a disqualification. Isn't it 20 seconds?
Yeah, I think it's 20 or 21 seconds is your disqualification cutoff.
So Scotsman is already in off them soft tyres. So that stint, that soft tyre, did not last long. We have Marco on 8 seconds, Mongo and Skullkid on both on 3, and we have Radical on 3. So people are, a lot of people are still not got any track violation, and Scotsman's retired in the pits, so he's had enough.
It's a called that a day, to be honest.
A bit of a strange one, seeing as if there's a safety car, it could have all played back into hands to him. So hopefully there isn't a safety car tonight. Otherwise, he's going to be kicking himself.
I know he's in a bit of pain. He had a bit of trouble on his bike.
But this early, just not even halfway through. Just coming up for halfway through now. Anything can happen in 17 laps. So if a safety car come out, he would have come all the way back to him. So yeah, it's a bit of a strange one, but he's obviously had a bit of a down and he's had enough. So gap to the leader, I've just changed it up a little bit now. We've got still on the back of Vit still, then a massive 9.5 second gap. If these drivers at the front are pushing to get an extra pit stop, they're doing very good at it, Roscary, to try and build that gap so they're not coming out into too much traffic. I think it's around 20 seconds for pit stop, so at the minute they'll come out into P9.
Yeah, I think the only guy they really need to worry about is Fish Sticks. It looks like everybody else will have to pit. So it's all about that gap to Fish Sticks, which is about 16 seconds. So as I say, if they can get another 4 or 5 seconds before they have to pit, then they'll just make life so much easier for themselves.
Yeah, everyone's disappointed that obviously Scotsman's left, but yeah, onwards and upwards for him. Not a very good result here again today. So 3 bad Grand Prix for him. So with him retiring, Petronas can get a podium at least today. That is going to push him right up towards first place in the championship.
Yeah, at the minute, if he even gets 15 points, he'll be about 7 behind. So he would even jump Blumblade at that rate just by getting P3.
About a minute, he's got Willy Bum all on him. He's had a good showing so far this Grand Prix. And Magic Graham picks up another penalty. He's got to be careful, otherwise he's going to retire. He's going to be disqualified. I think he's only 1 away now. Yeah, Willy Bum's on the back, and we've got Radical going on the inside. Oh, he's had a solid Grand Prix so far, Radical. Bit quiet in the first part with all the, obviously, the rain. But he's made his way up into point playing positions.
Yeah, he's just kept himself to himself. He just runs a slight bit wide. We have Willy Bum and Petronas going side by side. There's a bit of contact. And more contact. And more contact.
Oh. I can't even see shit camera angle. So Willy Bum has... Oh, Petronas nearly lost it then, and Willy Bum's lost it also in front. And Petronas goes around the outside. I wonder if Willy Bum lifted off to let him past. But I don't know what Willy Bum's doing there.
He's just left to let Radical go. So does Willy have a bit of wing damage?
Yes, he has. So he's hit Petronas, or Petronas has hit him, and that's the reason why he's coming in. So not a very good lap 20 for him. So I would expect that to go to the steward's room. But we have both of the Alpine drivers, P7 and P8, in the lovely pink livery, which was sported for, I think, what, 3 races this year, was it?
Yeah, the first 3, I think, yeah.
So let's just have a look at the gap. So, yeah, Fishstick's the only person out on hard tyres now. Fuck is the gap? There it is. So, yeah, he's comfortably in P6. Lovely gap behind him. He's about 4 seconds off Tattoo Star. So he's not doing too bad. So he's only about, what, 3 seconds, 4 seconds off. No, he's not. Sorry. About 8, 9 seconds off of a podium position at the minute.
Yeah, so that leaves the other guys about 11 seconds to try to catch up on the new sauce, which is going to be doable, but it does look like these hards are starting to come in for fish sticks. We did see him struggling at the start of the stint, which was expected. Now it just seems like he was keeping, I think it was Willie Bum at the stage behind. Now obviously there was a bit of shenanigans there that he has been given that free air to push on.
And we've just had a move for the lead. We've just had Steele pass McVitt down the main straight with DRS flap wide open. So he's moved into P1 himself. So let's see if Vitt can keep him busy through this section, and he'll have another chance to repass for that first position. We are got yellow flags in sector 3. I think it might be just Rainbow. Yeah, Rainbow cruising around. We've got Rosie down into P15. She's actually catching Skull Kid. So come on, girl, get past him. Let's go. So she's actually pulling in Skull Kid at the present moment. Davidson, so she's doing very, very good for her first race in Fprl. Just got McVitt across 3, just dropping off slightly, 6 temps. On that last corner, you want to be around 3-4 temps behind. The straight may seem long, but it's not as long as what people think. Lost straight. Okay, I think we've lost Koski for a moment. Is he? I was talking to you, so you made me look like an idiot.
I'm sorry.
So I was saying, Vitt has dropped off the back of Steele, and on the last corner you want to be around 3-4 temps behind, because the straight in Hungary isn't as long as what people think it is.
No, it's definitely not. You don't really get the DRS advantage till about halfway down the straight, I find. But as I said, if you're, I'd say about 3-10 behind, and if you use up your battery, you do stand a good chance going down the inside, preferably off turn 1.
So we've already had our first medium runner come in for his second pit stop. So he's only managed to get them, what, 10 laps?
Yeah, 10 laps, that seems a bit early for me. I don't know, is he just want to split up the strategy? You go, I was going to say 10 laps on each tyre, but not even.
Got a move for Rosie and Skull Kid. So Rosie's got the DRS on Alan. Is Alan going to fight back? He hasn't got DRS though. And Rosie takes P13 away from Skull Kid. And Skull Kid's still holding on. He's about 2 temps. He's going for the move up here. Don't be silly. Nope, and he's backed off and he's gone wide. So,
we have the top 3 pit.
Yeah, top 3 are pitting already for set minutes, so they've only made him last 11 laps. So, he's going to play into Fishstick's hand.
So now this is where we see, does Fishsticks get that advantage? It's going to take maybe 2 laps for Steele.
If these drivers have only made these tyres last about 11-12 laps, there's 12 laps left of the Grand Prix. Do you think they're going to have to pit again? And do you think Fishsticks is in prime position for the win here? Because he's going to be, if he needs to pit, he can go onto the medium tyres.
Well, I think we have a virtual safety car out.
Not too sure what for. We've got a slow moving Skull Kid. Is it Skull Kid? No? So
yeah, he's lost his front wing.
Ah,
so
yeah.
Maybe he's had a bit of contact with the wall. But,
so will we see Fishsticks pit for a set of mediums, seeing as it cuts your, well, it basically cuts your pit stop by half, isn't it? And this is going to play into Epic Frenchie's and Tattoo's hands. As long as his virtual safety car stays out while they're in the pits.
He decides to go around, so rest of it, his virtual safety car is in pretty soon. I thought he would have just jumped into the pits just to get off them hards and stick a set of mediums on to go to the end.
Yep, so Fishsticks has taken the lead of the Hungarian Grand Prix. Stills move up to second. Skull Kid's got a drive-through penalty, speeding under safety car. 5-second penalty from Magic Graham. So he's got to be on over 20 seconds now. And we've got Tattoo Star, Radical and Magic Graham and the Flow all pitting now, and not the first time round, so they've actually lost out.
Let's see. Yeah, Patronus, sorry, Frenchie's gained a lot of time now. He's gained about 7 seconds onto the top two guys just due to that virtual safety car. So he's definitely going to be one to look out for. But it is going to be quite tough, I think, for Fishsticks to try to hold out with Steele and McVitt on fresh tyres.
So Rosie, the Flow, and Patronus and Fishsticks, the only people that haven't pitted twice, and we have now got Steele on the back of Fishsticks. Do you think Fish has got this wrong by not pitting under the virtual safety car, or do you still think that these other drivers in the medium tyres are going to have to pit again?
You know, he's going to have to try to stretch these tyres out 23 laps, which does seem quite long.
And Skull Kid's in the wall with DNF. Oh no, he's not. He's retired in the pits, is he?
Just hits Steele and McVitt straight past Fishsticks down the one straight, so they're down side by side. Get that pretty clean. As we have Patronus in the wall.
Oh dear. And I believe that was Alan's car coming out the pits, and he's obviously had to miss him, and he's gone straight into the wall. Oh no. So this has this played into, is this played into Fish's hands now? You would expect him to pit.
Yeah, definitely. No, he should be straight off them hards. And if he does have a set of fresh stuffs, he should be straight onto them. He should be coming out about P5, P6. But with that tyre advantage, he's definitely going to get these mediums guys a good run for their money if they do stay out.
Oh dear, oh dear. So, I'm not too sure what happened to Patronus there. Apparently, there's something that's happened between Vit. People in the chat are saying it's very naughty from McVitt. I just want to know what he's done, because he's still there. P2, no damage. So it'd be nice if whoever's listening in, just let us know what he's done, so we can talk about it. But yeah, Patronus, I think, personally, it was Alan's car coming back out on the track, and he's either hit or misjudged it. So with that Koskari, with the top 3 people retiring at this Grand Prix in the championship standings, the person who's actually in a very, very good position here, is obviously Vit and Fox.
Yeah, if Vit can take this car home and take the win, he's only going to be about 21 points behind Scotsman. So it seems like he has been able to carry that good pace from Silverstone. He'll be definitely looking at the win, but definitely it's going to be Fishsticks is the one to keep an eye out for. Is that what we were saying earlier about a late safety car? Can't throw a spanner in the works. So seems to have done it again tonight.
So according to fellow drivers, Vic, when they had them 3 people going into turn 1, Vic cut across Fishsticks to go for the dive. So very, very dangerous move there by Vit. Apparently very lucky to still have his wing. So why do we have this little break Koskari with the safety car? How's the race gone for you? Because to me it's been very exciting actually.
Yeah, it's been a good race so far. Obviously we've had Steele and McVitt. You know, they haven't been really separated by a second throughout the whole race. So they both keep on each other's toes, especially now with this safety car. It's definitely going to throw a lot of stuff. Anything could happen here. We'll have 5 on the softs. They're going to try to push through this field as quick as they can. So maybe it could be worthwhile for Fishsticks if Tattoo Star can get through this field just to stick with them.
No, Nigel, I'm not going to talk you through my race because I absolutely got shafted on the last corner, so I'd rather not. But anyway, Nigel has asked for you or to do a redeem of drink. I'll go for a truth, Nigel. What you're drinking tonight, Crossbury? I'm on coffee, as I always am.
I thought I'd be a bit of a daredevil, didn't really thought I'd go here diluted. Instead of the normal water.
Good lad, good lad. Do I think Gary is a better person than you? We've got to be careful here. It depends. In what scenario do I think he's a better person than me? As in life or what? Or racing?
You're gonna have to be very careful what you say here. Friendship could go down the drain.
No, I don't. I think I'm the better person, and this is only down purely because I make the most of obviously being an adult. I like getting out there. I also work 2 jobs, so I work for my kids and I work for myself, whereas Gary's a lovely lad. I ain't going to slag him off too much, but he has a lot more opportunities that he can take, but wishes not to do so, and that's the reason why I believe I am a better person. Other than that, yeah. So, safety car is in, so let's see what Fish can do on them, a brand new set of soft tyres.
I think Tattoo's actually a massive jump on Fish. Fish might have been caught sleeping.
So this last 7 laps is going to be feisty. You've got Tattoo Star and Fish Sticks all on brand new sets of soft tyres. Fox, Epiphany, Movit and Still are all on used mediums. So these 2 soft tyre runners are going to put these drivers start to put these drivers under pressure. And do you think now, Scotsman talking in chat, do you think he is kicking himself right now because he could have been on the back of all this lot and at least get a couple points on the board?
Yeah, it's exactly as you said at the time. You know, the safety car came and he was in with a chance again. And unfortunately for him, it's happened. But it might be one for the future, just to know, just give it at least 3/4 of the race. You never know what could happen. Be a late safety car like this again, it really could shuffle up the field. Car round, it's the flow. He is beached on the curb on the outside of turn 5.
Flow, you can reset to track. You'll get yourself disqualified or bring out a safety car. Has he got going? Yes, he has. Good man. So again, top. Let's have a look. What's he doing? Why is it still got a flag? So, top 3 are separated by at least a second. We have Tattoo Start on the back of all this lot, and Fish Sticks unfortunately has dropped 2 seconds, which is quite surprising, Crossbury. Unless he's saving his tyres for right at the end.
Yeah, well, it's quite a big gap now to try to close into the top guys. You know, but I'm even surprised Tattoo Star hasn't been able to push on past Box. So maybe these tires aren't going to be as good as we think they're going to be. The guys in the mediums are used to the mediums at this race pace.
Yeah, the only thing that Fish hasn't got to worry about is that people behind him, apart from Willy Bum, have got penalties. So I very doubt you'll see him pushing too much. But Willy Bum goes running outside of Mongo, wherever he went.
Magic
Graham. He's crashed. Let's get this. He's going to bring out a safety car. Rosie's hit him. Oh dear, Rosie, who's in 10th in the points. Magic Ram could not get moving. Is that where she hit him, is she?
I seen it. What happened was...
Did he reverse by any chance?
Yeah.
Oh, Magic Ram, he ruined Rosie's debut. Not good, not good. Jake's going to be fuming.
Yeah.
But anyway, Rosie, well done on your debut. Very, very strong. He was in the points position, so just keep it up and you'll get there. But Magic Ram, naughty, 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 naughty. You should never, ever reverse on track when there's cars coming, especially on that corner. Yeah, lessons to be learnt. But hey, it's brought out another safety car. Do you think you'll see these medium tyre runners come into the pits now?
I can't see it. You're going to lose too much track position. I think we're just going to go to the end.
See, personally, if I was everyone on that grid, I would go all on fresh softs. All on fresh softs, because the people on the soft tyres are not going to last, and the ones on mediums, they've got, they're going to be so much under pressure. I would have thought some of these runners would have gone in and gambled.
I think it's not enough laps left in the race. Probably get 3 laps under safety car here, so give us 3 laps of racing. So to have a new fresh set of softs, I don't really see it could make a massive advantage when you're so far down in the field.
Yeah, we've got Skull Kid in chat saying he's really disappointed in himself in retiring. Should have stayed out. Yes, you should have stayed out. I've obviously told you this before. If you're having a really rubbish race and you are at the back, anything can happen. Especially when there's not many cars on the track now. There's only 13, so you could have picked up a point or 2. But again, lessons to be learned for next time you decide to race. But yeah, it's going so well, and we've had 2 safety cars in the space of a few laps after Magic Ram reversing on track and taking our, what would you have done in that situation? I personally would have stayed there. If I got disqualified, I would have got disqualified, but you should never ever reverse on track.
No, definitely should be having a look at that mini map. It's probably one of the reasons now why you should have it full map, just to make sure you know who's coming and if it is clear. Once you say it's clear, then yes, you can reverse, and just hope you don't get the black flag for reversing on track. It's just not nice to see, there's no point just reversing on an active track, especially with 3 or 4 people coming flying at you around a blind corner. They're just never going to stand a chance with their reactions.
I've just seen TJ say Fish can make up some good places here depending on how the softs are. Yeah, as long as he's looked after his tyres, he's got a good chance of getting a podium or even a win here, and also Tattoo Star. But Nigel people saying, as you would rather take the disqualification after reversing on track. If I was in that situation and people were racing around me, especially in turn 1, yes, because again, you would have taken someone out, just like what Magic has done to Rosie. It depends on what corner it is, to be honest. Yeah, you would reverse on track, but you need to make sure you reverse it at a certain point of the track, a certain corner. But you can't just, like Krosky said, reverse on track when there's cars still coming round. I'm just trying to think of a corner that, if you spun, you could reverse around here, but there's not really one you can really. But yeah, yeah, we've all reversed on track, but you've just got to make sure that you've got no cars behind you. Anyone in that situation should just wait, because now it's obviously taken poor Rosie out, who was in a points position. But yeah, there's my answer, Nigel.
Yeah, the way I see it is you've already kind of ruined your race with that mistake. There's no point ruining anybody else's by just being a bit dangerous, reversing on the track like that.
I'm not too sure if it was caused by Willy Bum passing him. I know they were side by side going for that corner, so they may have touched wheels anyway, but again, it's obviously something that it will probably go down to the stewards. But yeah, it's something that you shouldn't really do, especially if it's an active track where you've got people behind. So yeah, it looked like he got lodged up against the pit wall anyway. But let's see when Still goes. Still's decided to go now, so as a very early get-go for him, and that's put Vit right on the back of him. So let's see who's got the better straight line. So Vit's got a lovely exit there. He's gone alongside it, and he's taken first place with 2 laps left. So they're still making a mistake for going so early, Cross Creek.
Noticed actually under the first safety car restart.
Oh, there's been a crash. There's been a 3-pole crash at the back. We've had Marco Magic.
Where he went under his first safety car reset, and he did catch Vet out that way. Maybe he thought the same thing, and just Vet was keen eye on him. Just made sure you wouldn't let him get away that time.
So we've had 2 drivers crash out on the straight line, pit straights. That's not good either. But yeah, I think Still personally went a bit too soon. He should have gone on entry to the last corner. That gave McVitt enough drive coming out to get on the back of him. So he's off into the distance. We have Tattoo Star and Fish Stick, both of the soft tyres. They still haven't made it work. We've got Radical off in the background. Mongo looking on the inside, decided not to. So I wonder if these soft tyres are starting to fall off now, because we've had no inroads from Fish Sticks and we've had no inroads on Tattoo Star either. But again, look at Epic Frenchy Cross Creek. He's up into P3 after a disastrous start in the rain. He's looking strong, and he could grab himself a P2, even a P1 here if he hurries up.
It's been a great recovery drive. It just seems like that rain didn't suit him. We could be getting, he's on second behind McVitt. If these 2 guys out in front battle for these last 2 laps, Frenchy will be looking to pick up the pieces between these 2. And as you say, hopefully grab the race win.
So let's have a look. We've got one more opportunity for Still and Epic Frenchy to take this win. They've got 2 more straights left. As long as McVitt holds on to these corners, he's going to win. But still needs to be closer than what he is now. He needs to be around 4 attempts on that last corner to even have a shot into turn 1 and maybe turn 3. Let's go, let's have a look, see what he can do. He has a good exit. No, he actually really had a bad exit there. So let's see. He's much stronger in that last part of that corner. So he's got DRS is open, but he's not going to get it. He's not going to get it till this second part. I forgot about that.
So yes, it's really his all or nothing move here. He won't get the DRS because there's only 1 detection point.
So this is
enabled.
Yeah, so this is literally going to be a. If he's going to win this Grand Prix, he's going to have to pass him legit through the corners. So yeah, these soft tyres did not last. Cross Creek, Tattoo Star and Fish Sticks haven't improved on their positions, but brilliant drive by both drivers after sticky situations with the rain and the different strategies that are having to go out at the moment.
Yeah, I'm actually very surprised the soft runners didn't get through the field. It did happen to us on Wednesday, and they seemed to work out perfectly for the other guys. It was definitely a bit of a shock for that.
So we're just coming round to the last couple of corners now. We have McVitt just coming round now. We're still closely behind with Epic Frenchy. Close behind that, and Fprl Fox is P4. Just coming around the last corner now, and Vit wins the Hungarian Grand Prix. We're still in second, Epic Frenchy third, Fox fourth. Tattoo Star comes home in fifth. Fish Sticks with just over in sixth place. Mongo, Radical, Willy Bum, The Flow, and not yet, we're waiting for Rainbow. Rainbow's coming round. You know, he's not one of the fastest drivers, but he's very, very inconsistent. You see him finish mostly every week, and he still turns up. Brilliant drive from him up into P11. Well done. So that safety car restart, that still wasn't good enough, and he managed to lose P1 in the end.
Yeah, it seemed to cost him the victory. Like you say, maybe if he did wait out to go on the entry of the last corner, he could have caught out Vitt. But Vitt's took full advantage of that, and he's took a great win. It was such a great battle throughout the whole race between these two guys.
Well, just taking the results. If you can invite our gentleman in. Oh. So lads, please, please can you include your audios, please, if you haven't done also.
Yep, done. All done, mate.
There we go. So just let me get. Can people, P3 gentlemen, Epic, what is your normal manufacturing car?
Williams, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. What do you drive?
Williams.
Oh,
Williams.
so, so Koski, if you can have a chat with our P3 gentleman, and then I'll do P2, and then we can do a joint P1.
No problem. So, Frenchie, back on the podium. I know it's been a couple of races for yourself. Start off with qualifying. Yep. Just over
mate,
10th and a half.
I had an amazing qualifying. And yeah, after that, went downhill.
Yeah, did you feel like this was the pace? You know?
Yeah, I felt like I had the pace to win it, but obviously I was getting stuck behind some drivers. And yeah, and then I got pushed off wide and stuff like that. But yeah.
Yeah, going into the race, obviously had some bad echo.
Oh, one second. Has that fixed it?
I hope so. Yeah, it has. So yeah, started off the race in the wet. It didn't seem like you enjoyed that. Was it really not for your taking?
I mean, for me, the wet was all right, but I mean, it's like the start was all right and stuff. But going into the wets, I think was the same pace as everybody else, really, and struggling on those tires as the same as other people. But yeah, went down to, was it P6 I went down to after an incident. Yeah.
It was P6 afterwards. But once it dried up, again, you just battle through the field. Obviously, P3 at the end. Coming towards the last couple of laps with them two safety cars, did you think you stood a chance with the win?
Well, it's debatable, really. I don't think I would have overtaken him anyway, because there was a DRS train at the end. The DRS didn't come on till the last lap, I think. So it was they're hard to overtake. Don't know how Vit
Uh,
did. But,
Going
yeah.
on to next week, Spa. How do you feel about that? Is that one of your favorite tracks, or
Not really. So, I'll be at the back, probably. Good luck
well,
Oh,
on me
don't
being
be
at the
hopefully,
front.
don't be so downbeat on yourself. You're gonna win it.
Yeah, I'll win the race next
There
week.
we go. That's better. That's
Well,
better.
no.
That's better. That's better.
just
Better, yeah.
just $800 into Spa, you'll be fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, congratulations on the P3, and nice to see you back on the podium. Ads, do you
Thanks,
want to
mate.
take P2?
Yep. So congratulations still on your P2. You took a surprise, or for us, a surprise pole position.
I'm
Talk us through
surprised
your
as well.
talk us through your qualifying, because it looked like you was obviously again you got pole, very strong in quali. So is it a normal? Do you like Hungary, or do you just feel at ease in Hungary this week?
Um, I felt like I had some good pace and quality. This isn't my favorite track, but I don't mind it at all. Um, quality was alright. Got pole position. Can't really get better than that. I almost beat my lap again on the last lap, but I think I ran out of fuel, so kind of lost time in the last sector.
So yeah, going into the race, obviously it started off with intermediate tyres. Just take us through and just talk to viewers what was going through your head coming up to the end of the formation lap. Obviously with I believe Frenchie in P2 going into turn one.
Yeah, always having Frenchie in P2 is kind of scary because you don't know what he's going to do. But yeah, I got a really good launch off the start, so I think I was quite clear of it. I made a few mistakes. Frenchie got in front, and then I think we collided. Fuck knows how that. Oh, sorry. God knows how that happened. Yeah, the rain wasn't that bad. I had some good pace in it, but it was always catching up, especially once the rain stopped.
Yeah, we saw a couple of times. Obviously, you struggling with your rear end. Did you have a looser rear end, or did you have a dry setup on or a wet setup?
My dry setup does do well in the wet, so I didn't really change it. But yeah, my rear end's a bit more shaky. I like to slide the car a little bit more. But yeah, I didn't really mean to do that. No track control is not the best in the wet this year, so it's not very nice.
So when it went dry, you obviously you and Vit and most of the people pitted on mediums. Did you think that they were going to go to the end? Because as commentators, we noticed that the medium tyres did not last as long as they should have done. I think you pitted around 10 to 12 laps only on them tyres. Were they absolutely finished, or did you do it just for strategy wise, knowing that other people behind weren't going to pit?
I knew people weren't going to pit that early. I think we pitted a lap earlier than some other people. But yeah, the tyres weren't making it the whole race, so we just had to pit at a good enough time where we wouldn't come out in too much traffic.
And
Fish
lucky
sticks
enough,
helped a lot
sorry,
as well.
continue. Yeah,
Sorry,
sorry.
mate, go on.
No,
I'm
you
basically
go.
done, go on. Well, after the first pit stop, Fish sticks, he let me through, which is always nice. That's about it, really.
Yeah, and it helped that you gained a good 10-second gap on P3 also. Um, so coming into the last couple of laps, obviously there was two safety cars. I just want to talk about the last safety car. To me and
Oh,
Crossgree, it looked like you went tad too early, and that is what cost you the win today. Would you agree with us, or
I would. I don't know why I
yeah?
went that early. It's just, I thought I'd catch a bit off guard and it just didn't work. Yeah. Yeah, that's,
But yeah, I just want to just congratulate on your P2 pole position.
thank you, mate.
P2, especially with the conditions that are today, wet to dry, you couldn't have asked for a much better result. So congratulations. Anything, Cosgrove, you want to say?
No, just congratulations on a great P2. It was a great battle to watch throughout the whole race.
Thank you, mate.
Quick question. Spa's coming up next weekend. Not weekend,
Oh,
sorry. Yeah, next weekend for you. Yeah, sorry. So yeah, Spa next weekend for yourself. Looking forward to it, or going by that reaction, you're not, or was that an
uh,
oh yes?
let's just say it's not my favorite track.
Okay.
We'll see what we
What,
could do next week.
And what is it you don't like about that track? Because most of the track is quite full throttle. So, what is it you do not like about that track?
I think it's mainly Sector 2 that I'm not keen on. Just a lot of especially after the first straight little accidents happen there. It's just I could have good pace, but I feel like there's going to be a few safety cars. Might mess me up a little bit.
Okay, so that was our P2 man Steel. I'm going to pass it over to Crosscree to start off the interview process with our P1.
Thank you. That's Vit again. This makes it 3 out of 3 wins, and I think 4 podiums in a row for yourself. So you're definitely looking at this championship battle. We've seen in the chat you did say you were looking in towards the 15.5. Was that an invalidation or was just
More the fact I hit the curb a bit at an awkward angle. It caused me to go into like a half spin, which just deleted half my gaining time. So instead of gaining like 0.7, 0.8, which I was looking at, I ended up gaining like 0.2. So it did kill my lap a little bit, but it's not the end of the world. It's still starting in the top 5 is good enough to keep in the in the fight for the win. So I was all right and happy with that to a degree.
yeah, it's definitely I could say it's probably a bit of frustration when you're losing about half a second. But yeah, going into the race again, it started off wet. Was that kind of favorable for you? Did you set up a wet setup, or was it just more of a dry setup and wait for the rain to pass?
Well, I used a dry setup, but I did do some minor tweaks at the start of the race with my transmission and stuff, just to help me out a little bit. I knew what to. I had done a lot of practice in wet. I think I've done probably about 10 hours of practice in wet, just to make sure, in case that inevitable thing does happen at some point, because it's been dry for so long, that I'll be ready for it.
You're
Um,
committed, man. I don't know how you could do 10 hours in the wet around Hungary, but fair play to you. It's obviously worked for you today. But yeah, between the two of you, yourself and Steele, you've never really got away from each other. Were you kind of conserving tires in behind him, or was it you actually
um,
going flat out?
We were going flat out, but I think because we know each other at quite a similar pace around Hungary anyway. So we had a practice session before the race started. A bunch of other people were in there like tattooing and all that. So I had an idea that Steel was a similar pace to me. So I think we just stuck in on each other's DRSs and just tried to tow each other along potentially. Like I wasn't particularly asked about trying to get past him until like near the end, just trying to keep my ERS high. I think it was the same for us. Steel trying to wait for that perfect time to make the move.
Yeah, it's worked out perfectly, just waiting in behind. Going on to the pit stops when you came off the mediums, you both actually timed that absolutely perfectly with the DRS being enabled while you were in the pit lane. Was there any chance of you going?
Um, so the reason we went into
What was
the reason
that?
why I went, I don't know, but someone was playing something on their phone, I'm guessing.
Hiya!
The reason why I went into the pitch straight away was just because as soon as I saw that it was the safety car was coming in, and I checked the radio beforehand, and they're saying it was getting close to going to slicks, like they couldn't tell the difference. So I just went, I'm going straight in now, just so I can get that extra lap on them tires to warm them up. And then perfect timing, the DRS came on as well on that lap. So I think just by chance of where we were on the track and it telling us and the engineer telling us it's going to go dry, I think both of us had the same idea, just going straight into the pits.
Yeah, it's worked out absolutely perfectly for the both of you. You were able to gain 9 seconds just on the one lap. I'll just pass you over the ads. He might ask you a few more questions about the race.
Yeah, again, 3 very good Grand Prix in a row. Coming into the Grand Prix, did you feel like you was in a good, strong position for a good result here?
Yeah, with the amount of practice I've been putting in, I knew I'd be consistent enough to be up there. I was just completely, I was like, I know Steele's quick. I know a couple of other drivers are quite quick. Are they going to step it up for the race? That's my only main worry. Um, but I just kept it clean. I tried to not make do anything risky, and I just hoped I could get into the top.
There was one risky moment that apparently everyone saw on stream was when you, Fish Sticks, and Still were going for obviously P1.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Did you and Fish hit each other, or did you just literally
Um,
miss him?
No, we didn't touch each other, but if when I was going down the outside of Fish Sticks, he was starting to push me onto the grass. So I had to kind of once I got fully clear of him, I just swung right to get away from the grass because I was worried that I was gonna spin or just anything could happen. So I was like half on the grass on that point.
Oh, that's not very nice of him either. Should give you space all
I
of the
think I
time.
got a clip of it to defend myself.
So closing down on the top three in the championship, I believe you're probably going to be fourth now in the championship. Only what, about 18 points behind.
Did
Are you
Patronus get
good?
any points?
No, he
No.
crashed.
Oh no, I'll be in third then. By 1 point.
So yeah, but you had Fox score points in fourth. So I don't know how. I don't know if you've
Yeah,
passed him or not.
in
But
fourth.
anyway, are you?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think I'll be past both of them.
are you good at handling pressure? Because we're obviously
I like to think so. I think
halfway through now, and you know these results. You're going to have to keep up the results. Obviously, keep up with P2 and P1.
yeah, definitely. I know Blunts have been helping him out with the setups and all that, so we won't do anything to really cost each other and help each other as much as possible. He's actually one of the best teammates I've had in this league. Um, but I think as long as me and Blunt work together, once we get up there, we can potentially try and both of us take it as it is a team game. So if we work together, I really don't mind if I win the drivers or come second or third, whatever, as long as Aston Martin win.
Good man, good man. It's team play. That is team play. Right. Anyway, congratulations on your P1. Obviously keep it up. And I hope the viewers had a very exciting time watching the Tier 4s once again. And we will see you on Wednesday when the whole tiers will start going to Spa. Have a good evening, everyone. Ta-da.